What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Icast 2024. I got a guy that is no stranger to the kayak fishing world, Mr. Scott Beutjer. How are you, man?
Good, buddy. Good. How are you?
It's always good to see you. I know you've been crazy busy.
It's been crazy busy, man.
I know
it's been nonstop. If you guys see me glance down at my phone, I'm trying to get the live so I can share it out for my friends and family. But yeah, man, it's been good, dude. I skipped last year.
Yeah,
This is year 9 of my 10th year in the space. But this is year 9 for me being at Icast. And after being gone, not being here last year, like you just kind of get to catch up with old friends.
Yeah.
See folks, because this industry's so spread out.
Yeah.
And it's been awesome, man. It's been incredible.
Well, I know I see it occasionally every once in a while. Everybody's like, where's Scott Beutjer? Where'd he go? What happened? Is he okay? Did his wife lock him in a closet? Something like that. But he's alive and well. You've
on live, sharing now. You guys go do the same. Sharing live on Facebook, on YouTube, right?
Yes, sir.
So you guys make sure you share up, ask us some questions, drop in. We'll take some questions. But yeah, man, I'm getting that quite a bit because obviously, like, I did podcasting in the space. If people don't know who I am, I did podcasting in the kayak space for a number of years. We had 2 very successful shows. We had every who's who. Of you guys in the industry, along with we brought in a lot of the boat guys. We had interviews with B Lad and Icanelli, and we brought in a bunch of the outside guys. And got to have a lot of different conversations about this space and about catching fish that we all love.
Right.
And so it's been good, man. On top of that, we just it was a really, really good time of my life for me personally.
Yeah.
When professionally in my life wasn't fantastic.
Sure.
And so it was like, honestly, man, that show in this community, I would argue, and my wife would argue, helped save me.
Yeah.
Really, kind of kept me in my professional life. It gave me something to focus on. Yeah. There was a goal. There was a game. There was something that I care about. And if any of you guys follow me, and you know this for sure, like people. People are what matter to me. Like 100%. Above, like, dude, these companies will come and go, these things, but there are so many people in so many of these booths that I have very good relations with that used to be at another company. Yeah. That used to be over here. Because life changes and things happen, and to me, holding on to those people and those relationships. I just left the Torpedo booth. Jeff Little stepped away from Torpedo.
Right.
Jeff Little's one of my favorite humans. He's my wife, so I'll put it out there for all you folks that have been to my house. Like, every major angler in both sides of the space has been through my kitchen.
Sure.
Jeff Little is my wife's favorite.
Nice.
100%. Like, and she's not even shy about it. And so, like, that hurts Corey Driver's feelings, but Corey will be okay. It does. Because Corey's eating at my table a lot, but Jeff Little's her favorite.
Sure.
But it's one of those things where, like, man, it's there's so many good people, and Jeff's a perfect example that, like, for so many of us, he was Torpedo.
Yeah, 100%.
But what he's doing now with Boondocks, man, is giving him new life.
Yeah,
he looks incredible. He looks strong, and he's doing it the right way.
It's a change up, right?
Yeah.
Like, I know anytime I hear the name Torpedo, he's the first guy.
And everyone that's been in the industry the last 10 years, he's the face.
I mean, other than a couple pro staff guys, like I don't know anybody else that was working for Torpedo specifically. So and it's good to see that he's gotten back on his feet right away from leaving. With Boondocks, doing some great stuff.
Just innovating and getting to do some things like he does so much.
Yeah.
He travels and goes so much, and this isn't the Jeff Little show. You should have him on. But like I'm such a big fan of Jeff and what he does, and I'm so happy to see him getting to spread his wings. Yeah. Because and what he's going to bring to Boondocks and what he's going to be able to build there because of how creative he can be.
Yeah, 100%.
And know that he lives that life. He lives the life. Like I argue he's the biggest road warrior out of all of us.
He's got to be. I think one time I talked to him at like the Classic or Red Crest, and he spends like 200 days on the road.
Yeah,
like it's stupid.
If you've spent any time with Jeff, or if Jeff has your cell number, then you've been talked into a 4-hour conversation with Jeff Little. So if you guys are new here, welcome to the Jeff Little Fan Podcast. Yeah, that seems to be what happened here. But just the whole industry, man. Like we're seeing it shift, we're seeing it go. And dude, I like again, 2 years removed from being here, I've almost shed a tear, not only with seeing friends and people that I love in these booths, But this year having my boys here, like my boys are here off camera, like my 10-year-old and my 12-year-old are here. And most of you guys in the industry have seen Brandon, my oldest, like y'all, he's been to KBF events and done different things with us. But to be able to have both of them here this year for me, like as we're going to dive into, we talk about like, where did Scott go? What happened? Blah, blah, blah. And like, I've been able to be blessed to go be the dad in the way that I want to be the dad. And so having my boys here and having them be able to see what, and I'll be arrogant if you want to, but a lot of what I helped build in this building, like I'm proud of that. I'm proud to be able to say that because of how hard we worked to get here.
Yeah, 100%.
So, it's cool. Yeah,
you should be. But like Jeff, you kind of stepped back from the podcasting role, focused on the family, but you also took a cool job at Crescent Kayak.
I did. So James Durbecker has been a good friend for a long time. He's the owner of Crescent Kayaks. I live in the Current as our brand moniker. But it's right there in Carrollton where I live, where my kids are being raised, where my wife was born and raised.
That's awesome.
And we had worked together in a couple different capacities, doing different things, and even when I was in a bona fide kayak as a bona fide pro staffer,
right?
Whatnot. Like I was doing, we were filming, the wilderness boats. I was out doing media for every brand in the industry that would allow me to help tell their story. I was freelancing. I was trying to feed my family. I was trying to survive straight up. Like how can I get into this industry and help build something that I love so much? I pour love for this kayak industry. I still say the best people in the world spend their free time in these little plastic boats.
100%.
To steal it from Tim Ware.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like those are the best people on the planet that I've ever come across. And so for me, when James, like I said, James and I met, we started freelancing and doing some work here and there, whatever. And he hit me up about a job opportunity that he had. And dude, at the end of the day, man, it was at my back door.
Yeah. Right.
And, if you guys go back and, for the last time I've really have been on camera to, 2.5 or so, 3 years ago to now, I've slimmed down a little bit.
Yeah.
I've gotten a little healthier. I've lost more hair.
I've seen the posts. You're
and so I'm in the gym a good bit, but I've had to change lifestyle. I got big. I got unhealthy. I wasn't happy with me. And so I like, same thing that, that we talk about, in the Marine Corps, like there's a time when enough is enough.
Yeah.
And so Crescent has given, is on top of being a phenomenal company or whatever, it's given me the stability.
Sure.
To be in a job and a career that I love.
Right.
We have a phenomenal company.
Yeah.
We've launched 2 brand new kayaks in the last several months,
which have turned out awesome.
Which are phenomenal boats in both the K-Craft, which is in two different models. And then what we've done with the Primo, which we are super proud of, at bringing a $699 price point kayak
that's huge.
100% made in the USA. And that's something that we pride ourselves on, and what we're doing with Drew, what we're doing in the space, like this, we're a very blended kayak company as far as our wreck kayaks.
Sure.
So many people that buy our boats, like we're introducing them to Yak Attack.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you think about our industry in the fishing community, in KBF and OBBOS and the BASS, like every single one of those purposes, like there's something Yak Attack on your boat, guaranteed.
Yeah, sure.
Well, so many of our first time buyers don't even understand what a Yak Attack track is.
Yeah, right.
And they're in our boats. So I'm still getting to introduce people to this lifestyle that we all love so much. And a lot of them are not terminating.
Yeah. Sure.
The flip side of that is, I would argue, one of the best, if not the best, tournament angler in the industry is Drew Gregory.
Yeah.
Who is our specialized fishing department head.
Yeah. Right.
So so it's hard to say like, we don't build fishing kayaks.
Right.
Like Drew's won 11 trophies out of that boat.
Right.
You know what I mean? Out of these boats. Each of the different models and lines. And I don't know what I'm allowed to say or not say, but I can tell you that Drew's second boat is eventually I can't go further than that right now.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's and so how do you say that we're not, like, it's not a fishing boat? Now the flip side of that, families, man.
Yeah.
Like the wreck.
Right.
And so introducing people to the sport and to what I love so much, I'm getting to do that in Crescent, and we're building kayaks made in the USA. And we touched on bases this a little bit. Like, I'm stoked, and James and our entire crew, our entire staff that builds boats are stoked on the fact that we're still a mom and pop shop.
Yeah.
Like, dude, there's 16 of us.
And I think that means a lot to people that, the buyers, the purchasers, but I think you're 100% right. And it's been great to see Crescent come on the kayak fishing scene and just explode. Yeah. You know, whether it be like you said, partnerships with Drew, designing new rec boats that can not only take out your son or your daughter or your wife, but then you could turn around and go fish the next week.
They paddle well. They're able to do multiple things. We're giving you a platform, is what we like to call it. Like, all of our boats become a platform that you can build off of what you need and for what adventure you need it to be.
Sure.
Whether you're kayak camping, whether you're taking the kids out for the day to swim and play and flip boats, or you're jumping with the dog, or whatever you're doing, or whether you're going to go win, the Hobie Bass BOS series. Like, it can be done in our line of boats. And so seeing us continuously build, and not only that, but just in the last couple of years, we just continue to push that forward, with what we've done with the CK, the Crew, the Sholey, we're doing with the Primo, we're doing it with the K-Craft. And it's just, it's really cool to do. And, we have phenomenal, we're still in your mom and pop shops, your local kayak shop, your Music City out of Nashville, your Water Dogs, your Quarry Springs, and so these are some of the best retailers in the industry. You take a boat and you take how many, you remember drilling your first hole in your first boat?
Dude, it's so terrifying.
It's terrifying, right? You go spend, $7.99 or $8.99 or $14 or $18.99. Like, we don't, Fletch over at Westbrook Supply Co. How many first holes he drilled in boats? He did mine. Like, the first boat I ever bought, he drilled a 2-inch hole in that night. You know what I mean? But there's so much knowledge in those shops, that I just that's still a resource. In our industry that is so I think still just getting tapped into.
100%. I mean, you've seen more and more people rigging out their boats from, as simple as adding a cup holder to it all the way up to 3 graphs with live scopes and batteries and everything else. So, and that's the beauty of it. I think you can customize your kayak to make it exactly what you want.
Yeah, I think that's what the whole industry is. You know what I mean? Like, I've had multiple questions today with where the industry is going. Like, there's been a couple kayaks that have come out, the last 48 hours.
Sure.
That are bigger kayaks than what we're used to, and that's and why this is coming and where that's going. And I stood here and talked to Mike Iaconelli here earlier and was talking to him because he asked me, like, Mike Iaconelli asked me this question an hour ago sitting over here as we were talking about something else, and he said, he asked me, what's your honest opinion about these boats? And I told him, I was like, those boats are not for paddlers. They're for anglers. And I have no issues with that. Like, the more people we can put in these plastic boats, the better. What I can tell you is that if you get in that boat and you start using that boat and you start going and you realize the maneuverability, what you can get out of it is if that's your first boat, you're gonna eventually go to a smaller boat. You're gonna have what we call a throw and go, and so you're gonna find kayak fishing, which is what I think kayak fishing. And even being a Team Torpedo guy, I still think kayak fishing is a paddle and a rod. I still fish. Like, now I use my Torpedo 1103 to go from point A to point B, do what I need to get me where I need to go.
Sure.
But I have a paddle in my lap. I run a Bend & Branches carbon fiber 260 that I love. I like the snap button. I don't like the twisted ferrule. It's like, Bend & Branches knows. But it's one of those things where, like, I can't fish. I don't even throw a rod the right way. Like, if we're bank fishing with the kids, dude, I feel, because I'm not sitting. And I don't have a paddle in my lap. And so, like, it's almost, I've learned just 10 years of doing it. This is how you fish.
Sure.
So it's been fun, man. It's been really cool.
No, it's cool to see all the different things Crescent's been doing, you've been doing behind the scenes. It's like, I talked to my local kayak shop and he's like, I talked to Scott the other day. That dude's badass.
Shout out Travis, man. Shout out Travis. We've been talking about you, baby. But yeah, man, Travis is one of those dudes that, just is a really good guy. And Travis, no secret. I mean, Travis is the reason Crescent's in that shop. And that, and then that shop's thriving, selling Crescents because 100%. Of how good of a human Travis is. And again, like, it all ties back to me for humans, like the right people in the right places that care about what we're doing and the products that we're selling and the products that we're manufacturing.
No, it's awesome.
It just, and we're proud of doing that. And we're proud of, dude, we've got an entire shop, man, between Jamie, who runs our shop, is our shop manager, Miss Rachel, who hand does every single seat pretty much.
That's
her
crazy.
And her daughter.
That's
like
crazy.
When her daughter's is in summer, is on school break, whatever, she's in college, but she comes in and helps assemble seats.
That's awesome.
Like, dude, just our entire assembling crew. We've got a guy, DJ, the Bassmaster, who's an up and coming angler. That's his Instagram, but he's an up and coming guy that he's an Army reservist.
Awesome.
You know what I mean? And not only living his life, but he's on our assembly line assembling boats. So you know, these are American families that are working with their hands to build our boats. And then we send them to guys like Travis, you know, guys like Greg, guys like Fletch, and then just continues to grow from there. And it's just like I can pinpoint a family that is eating or that is paying their power bill. Or I went through Instagram and Facebook, and we see all these vacation pictures and these people enjoying their time with their kids the way that I value it.
That's awesome.
It's because we're doing it without having. There's not a corporation. No disrespect. This is a corporate event that we are. This is the epitome of capitalism where we are right now. Straight up. I'm not disrespecting corporations at all. What I'm saying is that myself and James, so many of us are so proud of the fact that we still feel like we're the underdogs. Even though we're not, we have that chip on our shoulder that we want to fight, and we want to show you that we can build a product and make it be the right product with a lifetime warranty and be right.
Well, I think you guys have already showed like how well you guys do things. I mean, you guys have certainly knocked it out of the park on so many different levels, you know? So it's good to see that. And it's good to see that you guys are continuing to grow, continuing to innovate. Obviously, you teased another boat coming soon and all that good stuff. But so this is a question I get all the time. And we can leave this a mystery too.
Oh yeah, we got comments. We ain't seen nothing. Or this is a you question.
This is a me question.
Oh no,
I haven't popped any comments.
Okay.
Will 5 Live ever come back?
5 Live. Well, for folks that don't know 5 Live, I haven't checked the numbers in a minute, but I still think that was I at one point in time, I don't know if it still stands, but that was the most viewed fishing series I think that's ever been done. I don't even mean kayak fishing. I think ever. Now, it was a perfect storm. COVID had literally hit. It shut everything down. Myself and the guys over at Fish USA and so many others, like I wanted to, like, I love this. I love our industry. And so the medium-sized story to it is that, man, I called up a bunch of guys and said, hey, let's do 1 week. Let's everybody go live on cell phones. This was 4 years ago. 5 years ago.
It was 2020.
Was it that long ago?
4 years ago.
So it doesn't feel like that, but so we were able to do that and do it, and it ignited. And so then we were like, well, let's do another one. And then we did 5 in a row, and then we did a championship. And quite honestly, dude, that's like I stepped away and was like, I'm gonna take 2 weeks off, and I've never been back in front of a podcast. Not as a host. And so,
let me ask you there, because recently, I've taken a slight hiatus from the podcast. It's like you get through those 2 weeks, you're like, I just got to take a couple weeks off, take care of some business, some family stuff, all that good stuff.
Had to breathe for a second.
Do you feel like you just got comfortable and you're like, you know what, I need to just step away from this because it was too much at the time? Or was it that you just kind of took a different direction and you thought someday I'll go back to that?
I didn't plan to go away forever, and I still don't know that I still don't know that I'm gone forever from this space. I love, as you guys can see, I love talking. I love having conversations with friends and family. I love storytelling. I love getting to sit down and interview and talk to folks to learn their stories. Dude, I've never been shy. I struggle, and I mean no disrespect to everything great that Paddlefit's doing, to these other podcast shows. There's times that I struggle to watch some of these other shows. We've got some local shows around me that some of my friends and stuff go on, and I will catch myself typing out a question that is very thought out. I know the person on the camera, like blah blah, and that question, no disrespect to any of these hosts, is better than every question the host has. It's aggravating for me. Because there's a way to tell a story. You can set someone up to make them look good, to make them comfortable with their answers. Not everybody's a natural, ability. And and so it was one of those things, man, that when Aaron Martins, God bless, when I got to work with him for the first time, I had to put the fanboy away. I stepped on his boat. This is arguably one of the best guys to ever cast an artificial bait in the history of the world. Aaron, we love you, brother. But man, I'm telling you, when I stepped on his boat the very first time, I had to put that away and go, okay, how can I get? Because he was this was several years ago. He was one of the best anglers in the world. How do I get him comfortable to tell a story so that we can film this? And so it challenged me to, how do you step back out of what you're doing and set someone up, and he was a trained professional.
Yeah, right.
But doing that, and then we get into the kayak space. I think what I loved about doing it was I got to go highlight someone else.
Sure.
I got to have Cody Milton sit.
Yeah.
We got to have Ron Champion. We got to have Corey Dreyer. We got to have all these guys sit
all the big
and
names,
tell their story. Yeah. But we got to have. But the way I did it wasn't just making it. I didn't want it to just be what colors, what color trailer are you running?
Yeah.
Like, how can you get, like, the way to open that fan base,
right,
is you get, like, how do you, what is your, how does your wife for this, or how, listening to Corey talk about, him losing his brother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we have so many, if you go back in the archives of those Westbrook Wednesday shows, there's so many phenomenal stories. 100%. And so I'm not done telling those stories.
Yeah.
I just to go back to the 5 Live, if you're still tuned in and you're looking for that answer, the 5 Live is almost a full-time job to do it the right way. Myself, and another dominant figure that I'm not going to name his name because I don't know if everyone's out there. He may reveal himself in the comments here. Another dominant member in the kayak fishing space. We partnered up to buy some equipment, to do some things, to try to make it a more stabilized stream, better, like, how do we do this the right way? At that point in time, 4 years ago, 3.5 years ago, we were looking at $8,000 to $10,000 a boat to do it properly.
Right.
Now, what we did worked.
Sure.
And could still work, but to do it the way that I would want to do it, I want it to be right.
Yeah.
And that's going to take an investment. And I just, as of where I stand right now with raising my kids and a dad and my full-time job that I love, I don't see it coming back down in the pipeline. But I'm a never say never guy, because I would have never thought I'd be getting to sit with you today, Brian, having this conversation.
Right.
So, we'll see, man. I loved it the same way that everybody else did.
Yeah. No, I agree, man.
But it's work.
What do you think is the hardest part that you've had to deal with like stepping away from all this? Is it just talking to the anglers? I mean, obviously you got the benefits. You're healthy as crap. Like, you look really good.
Thanks, man.
And I know you've been busting your butt.
It's these Hoochie Daddy shorts, baby. You guys can't see them. It's these Hoochie Daddy shorts that I got on, baby.
But you've got to spend a lot of time with your kids and all that stuff. Yeah. And obviously that takes time away from doing stuff like this. I mean, what's the biggest thing you miss from doing all that?
So I've got so many amazing mentors, like Jonathan over here that owns Z-Man. Like, he's been a mentor of mine for several years in the industry. And so if I listen to what all of these guys that I respect, if I listen to what they tell me, they all tell me I'm going to miss this, and it's going to be gone so fast. 100%. I'm talking about my kids over here.
Yeah.
And so every single elder in my life that has been there and done this before me is giving me the same advice.
Yeah.
So right now I'm focused on that. I'm gonna do my job at Crescent as hard as I can do my job.
Yeah.
And I'm fishing and I'm going and I'm doing, and when there's an opportunity to go create some content and tell a story, I will. But I'm doing anything extra I have in me right now, I'm trying to soak up through my 3 kids.
Good for you.
And so that's where now they're going to grow up. They're going to leave me.
Oh, yeah.
That's coming.
Yeah.
And, and my wife doesn't really like me that much. We were 17 years. Like, she's tired of me. She tolerates me at best. So I will have to find something to go do.
Yeah.
Because she won't allow me to just stay in the house.
Stay home.
Yeah. I've got more energy. I want to do more. I want to continue storytelling. I want to get back into the podcast game. Yeah. I want to interview. I want to tell stories. I have a lot of great friends that are comfortable with me.
Yeah.
That would sit down with me and do this.
That's awesome.
I don't know when that's coming.
Sure.
But I know the desire is there to drive it. So we'll get it there. We'll get to the finish line eventually.
Right on.
Sure. Yeah.
Right on, man. So I look forward to seeing what all comes up in your future endeavors. I mean, any final thoughts, last words, any wisdom you want to share?
No, Brandon and Brian, y'all come here for a second. Let me like just so you guys understand. So like this, Brian, come here. So Brian Henry, that you guys see in the Jamie Litwalk representing right here. So Brian is my middle at 10 years old. Brandon right here is my oldest here at 12, stepping into frame here. And then they have a little sister that you guys, if you follow me, we call her the Hurricane Bree Bell. She's at home with Mama. But like, people are what matter, man. Like, I've said it time and time again. Thank you, boys, so much. And so I just, dude, this whole industry, like, we're seeing the kayak fishing industry change.
Yeah.
We're seeing it evolve. It is changing. It is evolving. It has been for a decade. It's going to continue to. I'm nervous, but also excited about what the future of it brings.
Yeah.
And so I'm hoping to see everybody continue to love one another. Like we've gone through the tribalism.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Of this, that, whatever. Like, people make mistakes. People are growing up.
100%.
Everyone's living their life for the first time.
Yeah.
No one's got a crystal ball. And so my biggest thing, man, is love everybody. Like people, like you're gonna like somebody probably did step on you to go get this pro staff, to go pick up this battery, to go get this check.
Right.
Somebody probably, did swing across the front of your spot and mess up your fishing hole. Like
there's worse things
so
in life, right?
short, guys. Yeah, love each other, man.
100%.
Like love each other. You know what I mean? Joey, a buddy of mine over at Z-Man, like we're wearing these bracelets right now for every day counts. He just lost a son, like not long ago. And so like the whole Z-Man crew is wearing these bracelets right now.
Sorry to hear that.
And but dude, like every day counts, man.
It does.
And so it's just like dude, I got chills because love each other, guys. Like it's so easy on social media to go in and this and that and oh my motor and oh my boat and like dude, love each other, man, because 100%. That's the most important thing. Like for me, it's work as hard as I can and try to love every single human. I don't have an enemy in this building.
I love it.
And there's in the podcast game, there's some guys that don't like me.
Yeah, get over it.
But I'd hug every one of their necks. If I saw one of them out with a blown tire, I'm coming to help.
Yeah.
Like you just love wins, man.
Yeah, right.
It's a very diverse world out there right now with politics.
Life
it's a very
short.
love. You know what wins? Love every time. I promise you. That's my and so I just you have to love each other and you have to build each other up. And that's if you've followed me at all or you've ever met me, if I've ever done you right, I'm not perfect. I've wronged plenty of people. You confront me and you come tell me to my face and let me apologize. Let me figure out how to make it right. Let me throw arms around you. Let me love you because that's what I want to do. 100%. I want these guys to watch and love.
Yeah,
love.
I love it.
Yep.
I love it, man. Thank you so much for taking some time to just stop by and say hello to everybody.
Dude, I thank you for what you're doing, what you've done in this podcast. You've got a whole circus around you now with this balance event that you're doing. Keep it up, man.
It's good. It's it's great. Like I remember when you started podcasts and people approached me, oh, you see Scott Beutjer's doing a podcast, he's doing another podcast. What are you going to do? And I'm like, nothing. Who cares? Like, what I ask and the questions I ask or the people I talk to, some people may not like, but they may like what Scott does. It's great. There's something for everybody, and it's all love, man. It's like you and I have talked back and forth for years.
There's never been any
nothing
ever, and it's on purpose. Like I want you to win.
I want you
your
to win.
Guests to win.
Yeah, I want everybody to win.
There's plenty. I want this guy with this awesome mustache to win. Yeah. You guys, if the camera was around, you would see.
Yeah.
Like I want everybody to win, man. You know what I mean? That was a great stat.
It was.
That was really strong. As a fireman of 12 years, that was a good stat.
That was solid.
Yeah, you guys missed it. I wish we could throw a photo up. That was a good stat, guys. That was a good stat. Hey, it's been excellent, you guys. I'm no stranger. I don't send out a lot of friend requests. If you hit me up or you DM me, I do my best. I've got OCD. I can't the red dots on my phone. I don't have those. So if you put a red dot on my phone, I'm gonna see it. So you need me, hit me up ever. But man, I love you so much, buddy.
I love you too, buddy.
Thank you for the time. If you need something, let me know.
Yeah, same here.
Absolutely, guys. Take care, man. Icast 2024. Hit me up in the DMs. Let's go, baby. What a great show, man. You're such a natural.